Okay, so this is a quick review of my YT Jeffsy. It's the 27 inch version. I went for the AL2 in an XL frame. I'm 6 foot and it is quite big. As you can see, I've got the reverb slammed as low as it'll go. So in retrospect, I think I probably should have ordered the large frame. But it's an amazing bike. I did want the 1x setup, so I have converted this to a 1x setup. I got a 32 tooth chainring from Superstar Components in the UK. The main reason that I went for the AL2 is I preferred the black and white colour scheme, and I also wanted the reverb dropper over the E13 that came with the AL1 version. I've also changed the brakes to Shimano XT. The SRAM guides, they felt okay, they had enough stopping power. I like a really short lever throw, short lever travel, and you couldn't really adjust that on the guide R's, so I changed them out for XTs, which I had on my old bike, and I really love the feel of those. The other changes I've made, converted to tubeless, although the Maxxis tyres that you get aren't tubeless ready, they do seem to work okay. I've had a little bit of pressure lost from the front every now and again, but it seems to be holding up okay. And I've recently just changed the stem to a Renthal 40mm stem. The one that comes with the large and the extra large frames is quoted as being a 60mm, so I wanted a shorter stem. But when I actually took it off to replace it for the Renthal, I actually found that it was the 50mm version, which they quote as coming with the small and medium frames. My main gripe that I've got with the bike is because I went for the AL2 as opposed to the 1, the rear shock, the Deluxe R, doesn't have any lockout. I knew that was going to be a compromise when I ordered it, but I never used the lockout on my old bike. But I think a combination of the fact that this has got a different suspension design that's more efficient, combined with the new shock being the metric system, metric sizing, which is meant to give less stiction and better small bump compliance, I seem to get a lot of pedal bob, so I do find myself on the longer climbs, fire roads, that I'm getting a bit more tired than what I have done on my old bike. So if I was to order it again, I would definitely get a shock with a lockout. I'm probably going to look to replace that in the future, but at the minute you don't seem to be able to order metric size shocks from either Fox or RockShox. The bike itself rides amazing though, it's the best bike I've ever ridden. On the descents it's brilliant. It's also the first bike that I've ridden that's been a 1x setup, and I find that with the 32 tooth chainring, it just gives a great amount of range. I've been able to get up everything that I ride here in the UK. The pikes, really good fork. I've put in 2 bottomless tokens, which you actually get with the bike. I have ordered some extra ones as well, so I can add another if I need it, but at the minute 2 seems to be okay. Don't really bottom out too often, only on a few bigger drops. So the current bike, with all the changes that I've made, weighs in at 14.32 kilos or 31.56 pounds. So it's not the lightest bike, but it's not too bad and not too much different from my old bikes, just slightly heavier. So the other thing that you get with this bike is there's a flip chip to alter the geometry. I think it alters it by half a degree or a degree. Can't remember which. I've not actually tried it yet. I've just left it in the lowest setting. And even in the lowest setting, I don't seem to have had many pedal strikes. A lot less than on my older bike, that's for sure. Okay, so that's the end of this little review. Hopefully it's answered a few questions if you're looking to get the bike. It's a great bike and you won't be disappointed. Cheers.